Hello, am I live? Yes. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mills. Sorry for the delay. Couldn't figure out how to go live, of course, as usual. So I think I'm live right now. If you guys can hear me and see me okay, if you can put in the chat, that would be great. Hi, Celeste. How are you? I am good. I hope you're doing well. Happy Monday. My hair is a mess today. It's fine. Hey, J-Red, thank you. My live technical difficulties. Sorry I didn't promote this. I never know when I'm going to go live because I never know when the baby's going to be asleep. He's definitely going to wake up in like 2 minutes, but we'll see what we can do. But yeah, happy Monday. I just wanted to kind of come on because I haven't done a live since I got back from DR. So I just wanted to talk about like upcoming content that I have and answer any questions about our trip. As you guys know, or if you don't know, we finally went back to DR. So our family in DR and friends finally got to meet our baby, myself and my husband. Again, I don't know, like who knows what. Hi, Willow. I'm great. How are you? So we went to a bunch of places. Chris's family lives in Santiago, so we started there. And we went to Punta Cana, to a resort, which I've actually never stayed at a resort in DR before, the screen, which is crazy, or a resort in Punta Cana, sorry. So it was my first time at like an all-inclusive resort there on the beach. So that was a good experience. We can talk about that. We went to Cabarete, Sosua, Puerto, Plata, jarabacoa. I just put up a video. It's like a very short teaser pretty much of us like seeing Chella and Brianna. Chella is basically like my Dominican mom. And hopefully you guys know Brianna by now. If you haven't seen that video, check it out after this. It's the second newest one. She's adorable. But I have like so much footage from that day. So I'm definitely going to do like the lunch that she cooked us. And then Brianna gives a house tour. So it's a very like traditional Dominican house. So it'll be cool to see because I've done house tours, apartment tours, but they're usually like in the city, or I don't want to say like nicer, but more modern, more updated, and their house is like a more traditional home. So I'm excited to show you that. And then like just a tour around Jarabacoa itself. It's crazy how much it's changed since I've been there, since I lived there. It's way more like touristy now. They have a really cute coffee shop right in the center of town called Cafe Colau. No. What's it called? That's not what it's called. That's in Santiago. I don't know what it's called, but it's very like trendy. They have those like hanging umbrellas from like in the middle of the street. So everyone takes pictures there. It was literally like a random like Wednesday and everyone was like there doing a photo shoot out in full attire. It was funny. So it's like super cute and trendy. They have new restaurants. They have a couple new like food truck type things and brand new hotel, which was cool because there's not too many hotel options there. So I'll show you all of that. I haven't gone to Jarabacoa since I was 3. Oh my gosh, you need to go back. It's one of my favorite like top 3 cities in DR for sure. The weather's just incredible, amazing, and it's so peaceful. So I love it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the trip in general, travel to DR, what they're doing with like COVID or any restrictions that we had, like traveling, coming in and out, the flight, anything at all, feel free to put it in the chat. It was really interesting to be there like during quarantine or toque de queda, which is like the curfew, because like we don't have a curfew here in the States. So it's funny to like be there because all of my friends, the Dominican friends that have been through the quarantine and through the curfews have been telling me like what it's like. And like J-Rod, who's another YouTuber, you guys can check him out. He went before me when the curfew was like even stricter. And he was like, honestly, it's so different. He was in the capital, so very, very strict. Our curfew was basically like 9 p.m. Restaurants and stuff would close. So you pretty much had to get your orders in if you were there at like 8, really 8, sometimes something like 8:30. And then you had until midnight to get home. So it's kind of weird. Like, I guess you could go to a friend's house and like sit there and chill until like 11, 11:30, and then you have to head home. But restaurants and stuff usually close at like 9. So it was different because we're used to going out really late there. So for example, we were like coming back from Cabarete on a Sunday. So the restaurants were closing at like 8, I think. So we were like rushing back to like get our order in because then like there's very limited options. It's just different because usually we would go out to eat at like 11 p.m. But of course, like the curfew didn't ruin anything at all. The little Switzerland for jarabacoa. I haven't heard that. I've heard the nickname like City of Eternal Spring, which I definitely agree. It's just like, I don't know, like the weather is very, very nice, like less humid and hot than the other places. Hi, John. We're back under lockdown. Oh my gosh, in Australia, right? Crazy. I think it is better to like just lock everything down when there is like coming to be an outbreak. But on the other hand, it probably sucks and you're probably tired of it. Because I know New Zealand like had a few more cases. They went back like full lockdown, can't leave your house basically. So it's wild. I just saw too, like, I'm so excited for the Olympics. And I saw one of the gymnasts, I think one of the alternates though, tested positive for COVID, and several other athletes like Coco, the tennis player. So it's like, should we even be doing the Olympics? Should everyone have been traveling? I don't know. Anyway, that's not about DR, but, in Boca Chica. Oh, see, I don't really have too much experience in Boca Chica, but that's funny. That's the name of a restaurant there. That's cute. I did go to like, I've been to Sosua before, obviously, but like haven't really, it's been a while since I've been to Sosua at night. So it was definitely interesting, especially with the toque de queda, like the curfew, to see like who was on the street at the time we were going to dinner. It was like 8 p.m. So it was dark, but it wasn't late. And it's just such a different vibe from other places in the country. Like my friend was like, yeah, I wouldn't really walk around with my son here. And she didn't really want to go to like the beach in Sosua because it's just like a different vibe. And she was like, my son will probably be like staring at everyone. But they did have a really good restaurant we went to. It was, what was it called? I don't know. It was right on the beach on Playa Alicia. It was good. But then like they shut down so early. We were like the last ones there. Hi, Allie. New to your channel. Just wondering, are there specific cities mainly where you find expats? Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, definitely. So whenever I hear that there's an expat living in like Mao, I'm like, wow, like what are you doing there? But the main cities for expats would be Santo Domingo, Santiago. Those are the two cities. Santo Domingo is the capital. It's the biggest by far, followed by Santiago. That one is also big, but it's weird. It's a city, second biggest city in the country, but it feels like a big town, more so than like a city. You run into people that you know, it's crazy. Then I would also say Punta Cana, which is more of like not all, but resort city, mixed between expats and locals. But I personally feel like when you live in Punta Cana, you're a little bit removed, unless you're like right in the town. If you're living on like a beach condo and you're not really venturing into town too much, you might feel a little bit removed. Punta Cana, definitely huge expat community, good schools. Cabarete has a huge, and when I went there, oh my gosh, I did a live, so I don't know if you guys saw it. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Monday. Chris, stop. Thanks, Chris. Just my husband supporting my channel. Love you. If anyone else wants to set anything, doesn't have to be $100. You're so nice. But payday is on the 21st of every month. So hopefully we can get a little bit of money this month, trying to get more YouTube paychecks. Te amo. But when I was in Cabarete, like it was actually crazy how many more tourists there were. Tourists or expats, like obviously I don't know if they live there, but the vibe I was getting was like traveler. Like there were a ton of like basically white people with just like a different vibe. They had their guitars, they had their dreadlocks, it was like hippiness, surfers, kiteboarding, kite surfing. Like that's pretty much Cabarete, like super active. tons of outdoor activities. I need to take a picture of this because that was cute. It's just a different vibe, honestly, than when I was there in the past. Of course, it's always like an expat town, but it feels like more and more. Sosua, hugely popular with expats. What am I forgetting? Samana, Las Terrenas, super popular, and that's my favorite place on the island. So yeah, definitely cities that are just more popular for expats than others. Yo también, I want to be back too. It's crazy. If they continue to did I skip one? No. If they continue to force people to get vaccinated in the US, I'll leave the US and move back to DR forever. I feel like some people definitely feel like that. Hi Mills, what are the best neighborhoods to live in Santiago? So I just put up an apartment tour. Check that out. It's like 2 videos back, I think. It's actually one of the apartments that Chris's family is moving into. It's behind homes and it's a safe neighborhood. It's a good location because you're like close to downtown, like the center of the city, but they have a warehouse for their business. So they're closer to that. So they get like right on the highway, but it's like tucked back, quiet. That's definitely a good one. But my favorite neighborhood in Santiago is Villa Olga. That's where I lived. That's where Chris's family lived. It's really, really safe. So it's a good neighborhood. It's a little bit more expensive because it's a great neighborhood. They have a central like little park. People hang out there on the weekends or in the week, like drink beer in the park, hang out. There's a playground. And surrounding the park, there are a bunch of restaurants. So a couple of my favorites closed, which I didn't know, but I realized when I went back, like Squeezed will be in another video, but Squeezed was closed, which is one of my favorites. If you guys have watched me for a while, you've heard me talk about Squeezed. It's like a healthy food, healthy smoothies. Went there, so excited, closed, locked, dark. I'm like, okay, cool. So unfortunately, with the pandemic, a lot of restaurants did close down or they're still shut down. So like La Cafeteria on the Pucamaima campus, like connected to the gym, it's not shut down forever, but it's still closed. So definitely was different. But Villa Olga, I love. You can check out, you can also check out Los Jardines. I think that's a really good area too. My gym was right there and it's really close to like the grocery stores and other restaurants. So that's a really good area too. Pretty safe, like depending where you are. And those are like more, you can find houses and apartments in both areas. But that's probably the 2 I would look in and live in just because like it's close to downtown, but it's not right in the center of the city. And we have friends that live in the city, in the center, which isn't that big. And they really like it. It's just a little bit noisier, but definitely expensive in that area too. Like if you're gonna own something. Hi, Sarah. I'm hearing things are getting more expensive out there now. Yeah. So for example, if you do watch that apartment tour that I just put up, that's in Santiago behind Homes. If you don't know what Homes is, that's one of the nicest, best hospitals in the country. It's a good location. And that apartment, spoiler alert, was $500 US per month, but big, like 1,300 square feet. So I think that's big personally. That's like bigger than our house that we just got. So I do think that things are getting more expensive, but on the flip side, I did an apartment tour in Jarabacoa. That's a few videos back too, when I was there, and it's actually Brianna's mom. So they moved out of the family house, got her own apartment with Brianna, and that one was like one something. So it depends where you live, it depends the area, but things are getting more expensive depending where you are. And just depending on like the lifestyle you want. So some expats ask me like, how much do I need a month? And it's like, okay, well, how much, what's your lifestyle like, right? I'm pretty like tacaña, cheap. I'm not that like bougie. Like I mean, and it's fine to be bougie, but like I wouldn't probably live in like a gated community. Like I wouldn't, like that's not a mandatory thing for me. I could live more like a local, people say. If you're driving a lot, gas is very expensive. It just depends on your lifestyle. If you're eating imported food. So for example, like when I was there, I was eating a lot of like gluten-free food. So I would like buy that type of food at the grocery store. And very expensive. So anything imported is expensive. Peanut butter, not made in DR, it's expensive. If you're eating local food, meats, cheeses, eggs, rice, beans, all of that, then you can like literally live so cheap. But it's definitely less expensive than the States for sure. Or it could be more depending on your lifestyle. If you're sending your kids to like a private school, like if you send them to, is it Sarah Morgan? Is that what it's called? One of the schools, like they're thousands of dollars a year. So just definitely depends. But I always obviously save money when I'm there because we did eat out a lot, but it's cheaper. Unless like, but some isn't not. Like McDonald's there is pretty much the same price as McDonald's here, for example. Have I been to San Pedro de Macorís? I have. I really like it personally. I've been once and it was fun. I went with my friend Suzanne and she lived in jarabacoa for like 3 years. And then before that, she lived in San Pedro for 4 years. Carol Morgan. I said Sarah Morgan. Thank you. I was like, that's not right. She like took me back and she knew everywhere to go. She knew good restaurants. She worked at an a private school there. So she still had friends there. She took me to a baseball game. So it was fun because I've actually never been to a baseball game in Santiago. Don't know why, but that was my first Dominican baseball game in DR with her in San Pedro. And they have like some of the best players are there. It's just such like a baseball city. The stadium was cool. It was just cool. Her friend actually went to the same gym as like Robinson Cano and like a bunch of Dominican players that had been drafted and would come back. I actually met a player. Chris, what player did I meet? Something with a V. He was at the game. So I took a picture with him. Can't even remember his name. I took it for my dad. But yeah, it was cool. And it was a completely different vibe than Santiago, Jarabacoa. That was when I was still living in Jarabacoa instead of Santiago. The men specifically are so different in San Pedro than, Vladimir. I knew it was a V. Guerrero. It's just a different vibe. Santiago, let's talk about Jarabacoa. Those men versus San Pedro men, it was crazy. We were like, wait, what? Like, she told me, like, just wait, the guys are so different. And they really were. Just a completely different sense of style. More of like the gold chains, those like graphic tees with like the shiny tigers, tighter pants, like the slicked back hair, really like waxed, groomed eyebrows and like shaped up beards and stuff. Whereas like in Jarabacoa, the men are more like, I don't want to say like natural, but they're more like chill and like casual, not so like flashy and like their attire. I don't really know the words, but it was wild to see the men there. I don't want to say more tigre, but you guys know what I mean, hopefully. It was just, it was really crazy. So it was cool though. It's a nice city. She said and it was so hot. Like coming from Jarabacoa to there, she said like literally some of the kids used to grow mold in their hair because it's so humid. It's right near the water and it's just so hot. Honestly, if 1,300 square feet, it's 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, I think. An elevator, a balcony. You guys can check it out, the apartment tour. But for me, that wasn't bad. I paid $400 a month for a fully furnished apartment in Villa Olga. And that was definitely more expensive than I could find. But it was really safe. It was big versus Jarabacoa. I paid like $40 a month for rent, literally, for a house. Thank you, Allie. Let me know if you have any other questions. I've been to San Jose de las Matas. I have been there. Very beautiful too. Chris and I went there like early in our relationship with one of his friends. We actually camped out. So we like, first of all, the drive, if you guys can go there, it's probably like an hour and a half. I feel like that's how long it like took. It might not be that long, but I feel like we were like going slowly from Santiago, and it's up through the mountains. It reminds me of Jarabacoa for sure. Less like city feel though, which Jarabacoa is not really a city, but it felt less populated. Lots of like cute little houses. It's beautiful, like all the way like meandering up the mountains. So we went to the river, which was frigid, and then we were going to camp out there, but the guys were like, I don't think this is safe. So we actually camped out in the front yard of one of like his cousins or something, which they had a beautiful house there. It was so peaceful. I feel like it's like Carabacoa or like Constanza, but beautiful. I loved it there. I have some pictures that were really cool. And again, this is like before I had my channel, when I went to all these places. And I totally wish I was too scared to start my channel then, but I would have had like really way more content of like different cities and stuff, but live and learn. Robinson Cano's grandma lives half a block from my mom in Macorís. Yeah, she like he had an apartment, or maybe his baby mama had an apartment in the same building as her friend. I loved Robinson Cano too. So I was like, is he here right now? Generally, is it cheaper to live in DR over Arizona or New York as a retiree? Definitely. That's funny. I don't know if you're comparing it to me because you know I'm from New York and live in AZ, or if you are from New York, but I lived in Poughkeepsie, New York. That's where I'm from. It's like an hour north of Manhattan. Very expensive, I guess. Like it is pretty, New York's expensive, right? So I was growing up there. I never like had my own apartment in Poughkeepsie. Like I lived with my family. So I'm pretty sure it's an expensive place. And then I lived in Manhattan, which is very expensive. Very. Arizona. So like you can live in DR for way cheaper. Arizona, same thing. It's very expensive. Like where we live, it's getting more and more expensive. Chris, you just said the same thing twice. Living in DR is cheaper than living in DR in general. USA, yeah. It is. It just depends on your lifestyle, but 90% of people are going to live cheaper in DR than they do in the States. Chris and I know some expats and some Dominicans too, who live like a very lavish lifestyle in DR. They're definitely like taking all the luxuries and going full out. So they have it's hard to explain, but they have like pools, pool cleaner, watching man, like security guards for just their house. They have maids, they have nannies, multiple. They have tutors. They go to private schools. Like Carol Morgan is like $20,000 US a year at least. So they're like importing their food, paying for gas, several cars. So that aspect is way expensive there. You can definitely spend more than you would here because a lot of those things that you're accumulating are imported. But vice versa, if you want to, hi Evan Task, even, on the flip side, you can have a housekeeper for, people pay them like very underpaid, but people have a housekeeper that can live with them full time and they pay them like $200 a month. So it just depends. You'll definitely save money there. I had a house. Hi, James. Oh, thanks for the support. James is my friend who usually watches my videos after when I make him. My house in San Jose is like a mini dirt hill. Is there a house on it or? Okay, James, texting me a picture of myself. Thank you. Carol Morgan was the best school. Yeah, there is Carol Morgan. I'm literally making up names because I want to say George Mason. That's not it. George something. I don't know why I can't remember the names, but expensive. Santiago Christian School is expensive. New Horizons, expensive. I taught at Jarabacoa Christian School, not that expensive because it's cheaper in Jarabacoa, but it was definitely like upper middle class were the kids that were going there for sure. Because you still do have to pay. And what they do in DR too, I think some schools here in the States do it too, but you have like an annual inscription fee, which is kind of obnoxious because a lot of the kids can't afford it. So like, for example, if you watch my last video, and if you're new here, Chris and I and a few of our friends, like Suzanne, who I was talking about, who I went to San Pedro with, who lived there as well, she also taught at the school. Chella worked at that school for 16 years as the like head of like the cleaning department, let's say. 16 years. Employee of the year like every year. And they wouldn't give her a discount for her granddaughter. But teachers' kids could go for free. Anyway, that's aside. Definitely, I feel some type of way about that. So we pay for Brianna's school. Hi, James. Thank you. Just leave me on mute. We pay for her school, and the inscription fee is like over $200. That's like more than they make a month, her family. So it's like, I don't know. It's not like proportionate, I think. And then they have to pay for uniforms, and then they have to pay for supplies. And it just definitely adds up for the private schools for sure. But then the public schools there are definitely not on the same like level for most of them. So it's tough. And a lot of kids, like, it's really sad actually. I've heard some stories that were like, the kids don't go to school because they can't afford their uniform. It literally like makes me cry, because that shouldn't be a reason. And most schools there, you have to wear a uniform. It's just crazy. But yeah, some of the schools are cheap, some are expensive. If you are moving there as an expat, you definitely want to go to a private, international, like one of the more elite schools, so that you're on this, their kids are going to be on the same like playing field. So they can go to college back in the States if they want. Hi, profe. Good afternoon. Do I have children? Yeah, I have one son. Go to my last video. He's in it more. I don't usually put him in videos like too much, just because I want to be like careful with him, but he's adorable. His name is Mateo, and he's 7 months. He's like the best ever. He's really cute. You should go watch my videos, my old ones. We did like a birth vlog and stuff, and so fun. But yeah, Chris and I have one for now. Do you know if you have to pay for your children to go to international schools? Yes. And approximately how much? So guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but Carol Morgan is like $20,000 US a year for the last I checked, and that was a couple years ago. So it's probably more expensive now. I want to say George Mason, and that's not right. George, let's see, Sandal. Oh, St. George? Is that what it is? I think it's St. George. Yeah, St. George School. Let's see how much it is. See, a lot of them will be like accredited to US standards. Like my school wasn't accredited, but it followed like New York City curriculum. So a lot of them will do that. They probably don't have the prices on the website. But it's expensive. There's one in Cabarete called like Isla Escuela or Escuela Isla, something like that. And they're like 10,000 a year, I think. Let's see. Isla. Oh, there it is. Isla Academy. Admissions. It's expensive. Oh yeah, 2021 to 22 tuition and fees. Let's see. I was just looking at this for, if you guys are interested in moving to DR, I do consults. So I was doing a consult for this lady who's moving there. So let's see. It's like 7,000 per year, I would say. It's 6,700 for grades, like high school grades, and then like 64 for the younger. So that's not as bad, definitely, but it's expensive, very expensive for like locals on a local salary, because average salary is like $200, $300, probably a little bit more, $300 to $400 a month. How much was Jarabacoa Christian School for a year? So for Brianna, we pay, oh my gosh, Chris probably knows because I make him send the payment. We probably pay like, let me do some math, I guess. Like $1,200 a year, probably. With the inscription, it's more expensive. If you pay like more months up front, I think they give you like a 5% discount maybe. It's about like a little bit over $100 a month. So if you're thinking in terms of so that's mostly upper class kids go there. So it's expensive. Oh, hi, Jade. Jade and I are doing a video probably sometime this week. We'll do a live, I think. She just had a beautiful baby in, they live in Puerto Plata. She did a house tour for us a few months ago. So, you know, if you guys have any questions for prenatal care or giving birth in DR, write them here, or better to like message me on Instagram, Rebecca Mills, 3 S's. So we can like, or like definitely come to the live so you can ask her questions in real time. She's awesome. So yeah. Isla, and there's one called O&M that is cheaper too. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. Is that in Cabarete or Sosua? It's weird. Isla School is like between the two. So it's not super in the middle of Cabarete or Sosua, but definitely options. Like Santo Domingo has the best international schools, and then Punta Cana has a lot of good schools too. La Romana, kind of. I know some expats that live in La Romana and teach at international schools. Las Terrenas has like 3 international schools. They have like a French school, but not as many options, and they're small. Okay, we pay $1,500 US dollars a year for Brianna's school in jarabacoa. So if you're thinking in terms of like, okay, if her family makes, let's say $200 US dollars a month, that's over half their salary, which you can't do, you know, like you also have to pay for groceries and medicine and all that stuff. So no. Did you have your baby in US or DR? I had my baby in US, but Jade up above had her baby in DR like weeks ago. Not even, like 2 weeks ago, right? 3, 2. And she's perfect. So yeah, she definitely, I'm excited to do the live with her. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go back to, actually, can I do, I don't want to mess it up, but go to my, maybe I can, apartment tour with her. Let's see. Am I still on?
Apartment tour with her?
No, I'm scared. Hi. I don't want to mess with it. It's like a couple months ago. She has a really cute house in Puerto Plata, and she talks about rent and cost of living, but you'll see who she is. And definitely, I'm super excited because I've definitely chatted with people who had babies in DR, but not an American. And it's going to be interesting because she had her first baby in the US. So comparing like prenatal care and delivery and hospital stay and all of that aftercare in US to DR. So I'm excited. Definitely I'll promote it earlier next time, I promise. So bad at that. Hi, Jillian. I'm working but one. Hi, my love. Jillian has, I'm so famous. 21 people. I love you. Jillian literally has one of the cutest babies ever. I'm obsessed with him. So yeah, I've met like a lot of people that are married to Dominicans. It's cool to like, I'll have to do more videos with some of my other friends too, because it's cool to see, like, I met Chris right when I moved to DR, and he lived in Santiago, but a lot of my friends met theirs. So we never really had like a long distance relationship. We lived an hour apart, but a lot of my friends met their boyfriends, now husbands, on vacation. So they were there for like a week, met their person, and then had to go home and like sustain a long distance relationship, which is so hard. I give them so much credit, but definitely a different, like, I don't know, different perspective. And I really would love to do an interview with one of them and talk about, you know, whatever, how they met their husband, how it was being long distance, and all the things that go into like dating in DR, the cultural differences. Oof, there are many. So maybe I'll set one of those up. I also have coming, I just recorded, okay, I'm really excited about this. I hope you guys are too. There is another expat. First of all, I want to do a video called like, why are white people called expats and everyone else is called immigrants? That's another topic. He is a missionary that moved to Bani, which I've never been to before. I think I've just driven through. It's like an hour from Santo Domingo, and he studied water engineering. He's like that kind of engineer. And he works for an organization called Water at Works in DR. They have like 8 power plants. I don't want to give the whole video away, but he basically manages these power plants now, and they provide clean water to different communities in DR. But it's a really cool way that they go about it, and it's less like missionary in the traditional sense of like, I'm gonna come here and like just I'm going to be like a white savior. Like, no, it's really cool how the organization like empowers the communities. And if you guys didn't know, you can't drink the water in DR from the tap. But not only that, you have to buy clean water, and a lot of people just can't afford it. And some of the smaller like barrios or neighborhoods literally don't have clean water, so that people drink dirty water like from the river, and it's dangerous. Like, he was telling us all about like the diseases they can get, the deaths. So basically that is another video coming probably in a week or so. And I am excited. I hope that people watch it, because I know the videos are really popular that are like a lot of other people do. I don't really do them as much, but like finding Dominican women and like hot girls on the beach and like vacationing and resorts and like money and all that stuff. And like, that's definitely a side of the DR that's like fun, but more importantly, I feel like there are issues that people don't realize. So if you're going to the country and like just consuming and never like giving back, I would like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like a beautiful country, the kindest people. So like, you need to also like invest in that. If it's giving you, if you're going to live there, and consume, then like also give back. If like, can you imagine not even having clean water? Anyway, let me stop like on my rant. I'm married to a Dominican as well. It's good to know more of you who have done so. Please do that live. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's different. Like, the cultural differences are like big for a lot of people, especially depending on where you live. So like, I'm from New York, and I knew Dominicans like growing up, and also when I lived in Manhattan. So I feel like I was like familiar with the culture, but I also had been going there on vacation since I was 14. But like going there for the first time to Punta Cana, and then like going back home and not ever like seeing Dominicans or knowing them, is like a big culture change. And marriage and stuff, how they approach things. I saw an article in The Guardian that on that topic, why white people are expats and others are immigrants. Yeah, I always like tag my videos expat, because that's like what people use. That's like what it's referred to. It's like the common term. It's like expat, 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 expat life in Dominican Republic, American expat in Dominican Republic, or whatever, wherever you are. I know it's not actually, DR is not the most popular country for expats by far. But I've never seen like immigrant in Costa Rica. I don't know. It annoys me, because like, why am I an expat and not an immigrant? Anyway, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. White privilege or whatever. For sure. Hi. Do you want to say hi? Yeah. This is my husband, Chris. He's shy. Depending on the situation. He's actually not that. Our friends are like, he's not shy. He's so loud, but he gets so shy on camera. If you guys watch videos with him, I feel like you like don't actually know his personality. But what are you doing? Oh, there is cereal. I found it. It's down here under it. We're house sitting for the week, so we like don't know where anything is. Like, looking for all the food. It's like, or no, the next one, something on the bottom. I've never heard that before. I guess because I work in a company that deals with expats. Every expat, no matter what race, are called expats. Definitely. So not to say like only white people are expats, because that's not true. If you guys look at my past videos, I have videos like expat life in Spain, and it's a Black girl. And same with another interview I did, expat life she lived in Ecuador, Black. But okay, maybe I should say like, I do think it's mostly white people, but Americans, that's probably better. Americans leaving the US to go to another country were expats. But anyone coming to it's not like expat life in the United States. I don't usually see it, at least on my For You page, but I usually see like us talk about immigrants. I don't know. I know you did a video already on how much it costs per month to live there, but do you think I can get a nice 2-bedroom beachfront condo safe area for $600 to $800? Yeah, definitely. Depending on the area. So like, if you're going to be in like the nicest the nicest gated community in Punta Cana or Las Terrenas or whatever. Las Vegas, yeah, those three. Then it might be a little bit more expensive for sure, like up to 1,000. But it's fine. Just open it. Otherwise, 100%, you could definitely find that. I would look on Airbnb, but that's obviously more short term. However, a lot of landlords are definitely open to longer term people. It's like easier for them, and sometimes they will give a little bit of a discount if you're staying a month or more. There's also another site I really like. I'll type it in here, Corotos.com, and that one is pretty much like Craigslist for DR, and they have apartments, furnished apartments, houses for rent or for purchase. So that's more of a site that like locals use. So I'd recommend that. And then finally, like, or Facebook Marketplace, there's a lot of houses there. But finally, I definitely think that going there and finding the apartment once you're there is the best, because most apartments are not listed online. It's like word of mouth, or the way like Chris's parents found their apartment was literally just like we were driving around the neighborhood that they liked, and we saw a for rent sign with a phone number, and we called it. That was it. Or it's word of mouth. Like I found my apartment, word of mouth, through a friend. Immigrant means people to live permanent. That's true. I know. I feel like there's a lot of like caveats and like different explanations and stuff for sure. So I'm not trying to be like annoying, but I definitely do think that like probably I could read the article and they word it much better, but I do think that there is like I don't know, a difference for sure with like Americans and other people, expat, immigrant. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. Puerto Plata. Oh yeah, definitely. Beachfront in Puerto Plata, you can do 600 to 800, right? Hello? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually have it. So we've been like beachfront. Actually, Nolene has they own that apartment, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know how much they paid for it. Do you know? Super nice. $150,000 for a beachfront, like almost private beach in Puerto Plata, but 600 to 800, you can get a really nice one, maybe even furnished. What about children's clothing businesses there? So there are clothing stores there. Children's clothing stores less common than like women's clothing stores and men's, but clothing is very expensive in DR. Like I don't buy my clothes there. Chris doesn't really buy his clothes there. When he lives there, he did, but he also shipped a lot from the States through like BM Cargo. So clothing stores, a lot of people will just buy their kids' clothes at like La Serena, which is basically like Walmart in DR. I have a few videos back too of that. And then I was trying to film a new video of La Serena when I was there, and they told me I couldn't film in there or take pictures. I was like, that's weird. But they have children's clothes. The quality is not that great, and it is expensive. So a lot will also just ship them from the States. There's a few like thrift stores, not as popular as it is here, but it's a potential business. Santo Domingo, the capital, has like more American malls and like very nice stores and boutiques and stuff, but expensive. Like there's like a Forever 21 there, and it's like the same price as it is here. So
what do you expect? It's the same brand.
Same brand, but like I don't know. I feel like everyone thinks that like everything's cheap, and it's not.
They won't like lower the price. This is still another country.
Well, McDonald's has different prices in different countries.
Oh yeah, but.
Okay. Do you think the situation with DR and Haiti is still a touchy subject? For me, yes. I think like I have trouble speaking on it because I don't know like all the history and ins and outs and stuff. Chris could, but he's shy. Right now, I think it's like more precarious, like more touchy because they like did close the border between Haiti and DR, and because of the president getting assassinated and stuff. I do think that it will be like a little bit more touchy, but we'll see. It's an interesting like situation and dynamic for sure. I did want to go to Haiti. I've been to Haiti on a cruise, but that literally doesn't count. To Labadie, which is like closed off from the rest of Haiti. But I would love to go to Haiti because there's some beautiful places, but I don't think it's like that safe right now. And Chris has friends, like Haitian friends. Do any of your Haitian friends still live in Haiti? No, okay, most of them. Didn't they say it's like very dangerous right now?
They don't recommend.
Yeah, they say like not to travel there. Like me or Chris, like doesn't matter. Marketplace, yeah, Facebook Marketplace is a really good like option for apartments. They also have like it's really easy to like sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace there too. Furniture, people sell cars there, all of it. What would be average cost of living for a single male 53 retiring from the fire department? Oh yeah, thank you. In New Jersey, looking for small house or apartment in a nice secure area. So it definitely depends like what area you're looking for. Santiago, Santo Domingo, the cities are going to be more expensive than a small town. I don't really recommend like anyone, especially like if you don't speak Spanish or you're not familiar with the culture or you don't have like a connection or a community there. I wouldn't like send someone to like the middle of nowhere, for example. It's beautiful and peaceful, but you know, not as many amenities and things like that. So I always recommend, maybe I'll just type them. These are the cities that I recommend for expats. And actually, Chris and I did a video months ago that's called like top 5 cities for expats in Dominican Republic. So you guys should definitely watch that if you are interested and kind of like see what we say about each one. Santiago, Las Vegas, Puerto, Plata, Sosua. Those are kind of like really close together. So if you live in Sosua, you basically like are right in cabarete. So you still get those like benefits too. Did I get everything? I think. Jarabacoa, maybe. I lived there for a year, but it is small. Like there's small grocery stores. There's not a big grocery store. There's no movie theater. There, like a lot of people will drive to Santiago for a lot of the things, doctor's appointments, groceries, like go to PriceSmart. PriceSmart's pretty much like Costco. That's the list like that I usually recommend. Then there's smaller towns like Cabrera that a lot of people prefer too. It's just like really what you like. So average cost, it just depends. Like let's say $400 for an apartment, that would get you like a nice apartment in most of those cities. Santo Domingo would be more expensive for like a good size, safe area apartment. Small house, like pretty much same thing, depending where you are. I feel like in Samana or Las Serenas, you could, okay, let's say $500 a month to budget for. And then food depends. You might have been late, David, but I talked about like getting imported food versus eating locally. So if you're eating imported food, you're definitely going to spend more. Eating out at restaurants all the time, you're spending more. But I do have a cost of living video, which pretty much goes into everything like schools, haircuts, groceries, all of like apartments, everything. So it's, I think you can search on my channel, but if you're interested, like you can go check that out. There's like a lot of information there. It just depends on your lifestyle, but I usually say like, okay, let's say you spend like $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. You probably, I wouldn't spend that much, but like, I probably wouldn't recommend someone to budget for less than $1,000 a month, you know, just so you have like rent money and gas money and food money and all of that. Nice, congrats, you're up to 10K subs. I know, finally. It was a slow climb. It's so frustrating. It's not, okay, it's frustrating to like see some channels like blow up so quickly. Of course, I am not the best like video editor. I wish that I had someone to like edit my videos for me, but it's expensive. And like shoot them really cool and like, I don't know. I wish I started earlier when I was in Jarabacoa, but it is like kind of fresh. I'm not complaining because I'm so grateful for 10K and I'm excited to grow even more. But sometimes I'm like, dang, these like some of these expat YouTubers in like sosua or on the beach. They have so many subs so fast. And I feel like I like genuinely really, they help people too, but I'm like, I really try to help people. Subscribe. But I'm so excited to finally be at 10K. I don't know why. The only thing that you can do at 10K is do stories, which stay on for a week, which is different than Instagram for sure. But it's fun. And I love like meeting more and more people as like my channel grows. James is yelling at my friend because she's not on my live. But yeah, so excited for 10K. If you are not subscribed, if you can take a second to subscribe, like my channel, send it to a friend, make your mom subscribe. That would be great. Notifications on, all of that. Just like, it's weird how YouTube works. Like all of that literally like gets me more ads, and the more ads that I have, the more like money I make. My click-through rate's not that high because expat travel vloggers don't like have that many, like it's not like a tech channel or a finance channel. They have such a high rate for ads. Mine's not. That's getting technical if you guys don't know like the behind the scenes of YouTube, but if you see my ads, watch them. If you want to donate, I do have a link. Got a brand new camera. Finally, I've been like delaying that, but some of my new videos coming are from my new camera. So I'm excited. I know I've been filming a lot on my phone recently. Everyone should donate money. Thank you, James. My manager. For a single person, it's more beneficial to eat out or to cook. Guess you talked about it already. I feel like it's more beneficial to cook always if you can. That being said, Chris and I, when we're there, eat out a lot because it's easier, and like you can get like plata del dia, which is like the plate of the day, for like 100 pesos some places, which is $2, and you have a ton of food: chicken, beans and rice, steak, beans and rice, and it's enough food to save for the next day usually. So like 2 meals, unless you're really hungry. But if you're getting places like plata del dia, sure, like that's really cheap. And then you can afford to eat out a lot. But if you're getting imported food, if you're going to McDonald's, if you're going to fancy restaurants, Saga in Santiago, which is very expensive, then of course, like that's not as practical and you're going to spend more money. It's versus like getting a Presidente, like a beer locally, versus like having like imported vodka is definitely going to be more expensive. Sorry, I skipped you, Randall. Hello, this is also a good app called Corotos. Yeah, I put that above. Definitely really good app. Corotos.com. It's just like, not eBay, Craigslist for in DR. So I've definitely looked for other things too. Cars. I didn't find my car on Corotos, but I almost got a car on Corotos. I got mine on Facebook Marketplace. Or no, I got mine through like another, like a missionary in jarabacoa. But definitely a really good resource that is like locals and better, because I feel like if you type in like beachfront property in Samana, like it's gonna take you to like a realtor's website, and then they're expensive. Like no. Or maybe like Airbnb is definitely more expensive than like word of mouth. So just depends like where you are, but also Airbnb is cheap. I have another video. I have so much content coming. I really filmed so much while I was there. I just don't want to like give it all to you in like a day and then I don't have content in like a month. But one of them is an Airbnb we stayed at in Sosua at Rock something, not Hard Rock. Oh man, I don't know if Chris is still watching, but it was like a very nice like private beachfront condo. You guys will see it, and I'll tell you like how much we spent for the Airbnb. You could also get Airbnbs for like $20. Also, shameless plug, if you guys are interested in hotels, you definitely need to go to this one in Santiago. It's like you kind of need to know like and do research, and it's hard because sometimes it's just not as easy to find resources there as it is here. So the hotel that I just put is in Santiago. I have a video. I keep saying that. I'm not trying to like promote myself. I just would rather not like talk about it and just have you watch it. Bay Rock too. Thank you. That hotel, if you use my code at checkout, you're literally getting 30% off if there's no expiration date. So if you're going to DR in October, book your room now in Santiago. It's a really nice hotel, breakfast included. It's near the airport, right near downtown. Good location, safe, quiet. 30% off is like a good discount if you use my code at checkout. So I put the link there. But yeah, sometimes it's like you don't know these deals until you like talk to people, or it's hard to find sometimes. Let me scroll up. Sorry. Are you using tags? I just found your channel and I subscribe because you actually give information. Thank you so much, Allie. I really appreciate that. I genuinely do really try to help people. I love helping people. So I always people always message me on Instagram to help with their move or vacation or anything. And I love doing that. I am using tags. It's actually funny because YouTube basically was like, tags are useless. And I'm like, okay, cool. I still use them, like Dominican Republic, whatever. But the bigger thing is like the titles and the thumbnail and description. And like, I never know what to put on the thumbnail. Like, I don't know what I could tell you, like, if you show me 2 thumbnails for your channel, I'll be like, oh, that one. I would click that one. But for me, I'm like, I don't know what people want to see. And I don't really like doing like clickbait titles. You know, there's a certain extent where you need to be like, click, and I shouldn't talk because the thumbnail for this, I'm in a bathing suit. But that's because I took those pictures yesterday and I was like, I look cute. But you'll see pictures like Sosua Beach, and it's like a male YouTuber, but they like take a picture of like a female in her bikini on the beach, like walking by. And I'm like, dang, like that's something that people click on. So it's like strategic. So it's based on like how many people see your thumbnail, click it. And then titles, I'm terrible at titles. I don't know what to title something. You only have 100 characters. I'm like, what will someone click on? Like I could be like super clickbait and be like, I was robbed in the Dominican Republic. I almost died in the Dominican Republic. People like do that all the time. And some of my titles, like I try to make them more interesting, but it's hard. I don't even know. Hi, I joined this live chat a little late, so maybe I missed it, but I was planning on moving to Santiago next year, and I was wondering if you covered the prices on furnished apartments. I didn't really talk about, oh no, I did. So I had a furnished apartment in Villa Olga, very safe, secure, not too quiet, depending what street you're on, but relatively quiet neighborhood. I paid $400 US a month, which was definitely more than you can find, like for sure. I was in a really good building. It was big, like 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom with a service room, furnished, but you can also find furnished for like $300 a month, depending where you are. Check out Corotos.com, Facebook Marketplace. Once you're there too, I kind of recommend people to like go get an Airbnb for 2 weeks, like just book it. And then once you're there in the country, that's when you like start asking around, like go to a restaurant. If you don't know anyone, start talking to the waiter. Like Dominicans are so nice. Like honestly, if you chat with them, I feel like they want to help you too. Ask people, you'll walk around and you'll see signs that say for rent in Spanish. Some are furnished. It will say that. You'll have a phone number, call them, text them. The only thing is like realtors there, you do usually need to pay them to see units. Like here, we don't pay realtors to like take us around, but there you do. So word of mouth is great. I would say like budget, like on my channel, it's like last year, so it's way back. I did do an apartment tour, but it's in the center of the city. It's under $200 US a month, but it's like more bare bones and it wasn't furnished. So I would say like $300-400 a month, up to $500 a month or more, depending if you're going to be in like a high rise and very fancy area. But if you want to message me, this is my Instagram, and I'd be more than happy to help you like find something. I actually have a realtor in our family. So if you guys do need a realtor, I usually recommend her because she helped me with mine. And the contract's a little bit different in DR. So you have to pay usually like 3 months up front, sometimes 2. So it's like security deposit could be 1 month. You usually pay the realtor 1 month rent as her like commission. If you do a shorter than 12-month lease, sometimes there's an extra fee, just various things that can get confusing. You're awesome, girl. I absolutely adore your channel. You give so much great info. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I genuinely do. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Hi, Kayla. Kayla has a channel as well. Yo soy Kayla. Sorry, I'm behind on the comments. If you guys scroll up, I am good. How are you? It's beautiful here. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Can you see it? Let me unplug this. Nice pool out there. Maybe I'll go in later, but like, can't really complain about anything when you're like looking at that. And now why does the brightness go out when you unplug your computer? Don't know. Everyone should donate money. I already said that. Thank you, James. Should always say like, sub. You might sound awkward. It might sound like you're begging, but sometimes I forget, and I do it when a YouTuber asks. I definitely do say that. If you watch my videos in my intro, I always try to say it in the beginning and the end. It's definitely hard to get people to watch to the end. I never expect anyone to watch like a full video because I know everyone's busy, and now TikTok is like 1 minute videos. So like attention span is short. But I definitely do ask people to sub. So that's always good when people do. I really do appreciate it. Sometimes like my friends won't sub for the longest time, but they'll like watch my videos and I'm like, just click sub. But it's hard if you go from Instagram, you're not logged in. So sometimes even me, like my friends have channels and I like want to comment or say something. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not logged in. I'm done. I'm not going back. So I totally get it. And I do sound awkward all the time, but I feel like my subs do know that by now. So it's okay. Hi, Brian. How are you? Happy Monday. What are your thoughts? Oh no, I lost it. Did you guys delete stuff? No. Yes? Oh man. Oh no, I did. What are your thoughts on Las Terrenas versus Santiago living? I would choose Las Terrenas over and over, but there are certain things or reasons why someone would choose Santiago. Some of them being there's more options for schools, international schools. There is better healthcare options for sure. That's like a major con of Las Terrenas because it's like two plus hours from Santo Domingo. And if there's like an emergency and you need quality medical care, you're going to have to go to Santo Domingo. There are clinics and small hospitals there, but there's nothing like homes. There's nothing like the big hospitals in Santo Domingo or Punta Cana. So that is a downside, especially for people with kids or, you know, older people who have maybe more medical issues or are concerned about like an accident or something. But for me and Chris, we're going to buy land in DR. If you guys don't know, he's a structural engineer. So he's planning to build our house there so that we just want the land to hold on to. But we will be looking in Samana/Las Terrenas area because it's just way nicer. Like, honestly, I just feel like it's the best place, the best area that you can be. It's on the beach. The beaches are beautiful. They're calm. They're not as crowded as other places. There is definitely an expat vibe in Las Terrenas. There's a lot of expats, but not all Americans. There's lots of French, Italian, German people, which I like. So you're getting more of an international community, but there's also a lot of locals there. So I think it's really peaceful. It's beautiful. There's mountains, there's rivers, waterfalls, beaches. It's the best. Really good restaurants there too. It is a little bit more expensive though. And it's getting more and more expensive because I keep seeing it pop up on lists. It's like hidden gems in the Caribbean or like top 10. And I'm like, no, take it off. But it is beautiful. I love it. But also there's not like a big grocery store like right in town. There are grocery stores, but you know, like as many as Santiago, like a Price Smart. There's not a movie theater. So it's, you know, it is different. Any recommendations for a nice romantic place to eat in Santo Domingo? I just told someone like a bunch of restaurants. If you message me on Instagram, I'll give you some. I usually ask my friends and I forget, like I just recommended someone like 10 good restaurants. I've been to Santo Domingo, but I don't like hang out there as much or like, you know, go out to like fancy places usually. I can tell you more in Santiago, but if you message me, I'll find the list. Maybellina, hello, how are you? Airbnb is not that expensive out there in DR. Definitely not. Bay Rock is where I stayed. Are there any composts that you'd recommend for expats that still have amenities but are a little more relaxing and less touristy? Oh, there you go. There's J-Rod. I was like, I'm going to ask J-Rod. Neptunos, I guess, is a nice place in San Domingo. So jarabacoa is not that touristy. It's just getting more touristy than when I went there. So the first time I went there, I was 14 and like, it was so different. There were not as many restaurants. The center of the city was not as like cute. Whoops. And it's still not like super like modern city or anything like that. But it's more like photo ops and more, I don't know, but it's super chill. You won't be like seeing Americans everywhere. So I recommend that. Cabrera is cute. It's popular with expats, but it's not a big town or a big city. Tons of locals there. La Romana is like close to Punta Cana, has expats, and has amenities, but it's not like super touristy by any means. Places like around Santo Domingo, but I always like just think of the beach, honestly. What else? There's another Rio San Juan. There's just like Las Galeras. I love Galeras. I have videos from there too. Very cute town, close to Samana, less touristy, but really, really beautiful. Camp David, I've never been to. It's in Santiago. It reminds me of like Hamaca de Dios in Jarabacoa, which is like on the top of a beautiful mountain. The restaurant actually rotates 360 degrees, so you'll make like a full spin while you eat. The outside deck is like beautiful, gorgeous views. But I haven't been to Camp David yet. I think Chris has been there. See, do you want to bring him out here if you want? The food in Hamaca de Dios, it's like more for the view because I thought the food was overpriced, but I'm cheap. I checked out Crotos and I found it kind of expensive. Definitely depending. I'm going to reach out to you about using your real estate. Thank you. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Miguel. Hopefully you're subbed. But I can definitely give you the realtor's information. But yeah, that's the thing. Like just so many channels, so many listings aren't advertised online. So it's always better to like ask a realtor because she'll know like options or to do it when you're there. Facebook Marketplace too is probably better. Mercado Libre is a good site for finding apartments too. Thank you, Jared. That is a good one too. I feel like that's more like Craigslist. Can you get him? Any remote work you recommend? Diamond? Just put him over there. Yeah, so I work remotely. For those of you who don't know, I've worked remotely since 2017. I do social media, marketing, project management, a bunch of like content creation for clients and stuff like that. So I would recommend that. But if you're just getting started, either lower level social media clients or data entry, virtual assistants. There's like virtual assistant websites specifically, just things like that. LinkedIn or Indeed, typing in remote, because a lot of companies have like customer service options remote now. So even like Southwest hires like remote phone operators and stuff. And I think you still get flight benefits and all of that. I don't work for a company. I have all my own individual clients, but yeah, it's hard to start out, I feel like, but you probably have more experience than you think. So like content creation, like if you have your own YouTube or your own social media, Instagram, whatever, you have done content creation before. Like even if you like list things on Poshmark or sell on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, like you do online sales and have experience with marketing and sale, like storefronts, you can like buff up your resume for sure if you need to. But yeah, message me if you have any questions. The roads or the highway are so dangerous in Samana, but it's beautiful. That's true, but they're better than they used to be. And now that there's the new highway from Santo Domingo, it's like pretty easy to get back and forth. But yeah, once you're there, the roads aren't that good. Camp David has $1 million homes. Yeah, it's so pretty up. The houses up in the mountains are amazing. Love them. A lot of really pretty ones in Jarabacoa too. When it comes to banking, how are things there? Can you transfer money from a U.S. account and get the money there, or do you need to open a bank account there? So I opened a bank account there, but it's hard to do that, honestly. You kind of need to have like a connection. You can put him in this chair if you want. or he needs another bottle. You kind of need to have like a connection. So the school set up my bank account. Now it's harder and they want more proof, but I have an account with Popular Bank, and it's good. It's like one of the more popular ones. They have other banks as well. Can be difficult. They can kind of make it hard to set up an account, but it is definitely doable. I think that I don't know, it's beneficial, but not necessary all the time. So you can 100% use your credit cards, your debit cards from the banks in the US. So like I have a Chase card and I would use it all the time in DR. I actually ended up using it more than my Popular account because like that's where I was getting paid. So I was getting my money in my Chase account, and it's complicated to transfer money from US accounts to DR accounts, which is annoying. I don't know, like it's doable. So like if we send money, so when I pay like Brianna's tuition, we have to send money from our Chase account through Zoom to their account. It's like to my Popular account to them. It's complicated. I know people will send money using like Zelle or Remitly or different like Zoom, different sites. But it can be annoying, honestly, but you should be able to open an account. You'll just need like a lot of documentation and stuff, but it's also not always necessary because you can use your US card. You can use like dollars a lot of places. When you interview for remote jobs, make sure you ask or confirm that these jobs are location free. Yes. I just told my clients that that I worked in, let me grab him. What happened? What happened? What happened? I'm not. Yeah, for my clients, I just asked I just asked them or told them like, I'm back and forth between the US and DR, and I didn't really like specify too much because some clients don't care, some do, but if you're working for a US like company, they will literally, some have like requirements and rules and laws, and they won't let you work outside the states, which can definitely be annoying, for sure. But it's possible. Some people like use a different like VIN and they'll like lie and say that they're not in the States. I would feel bad, but there's ways around it. But if you're like me and you have your own clients and you don't work for a company, then it doesn't really matter where you are. Hi. Chef Mendez, I don't know what that means. Stop. High five, hopefully. Can you transfer money through Zoom to a DR account? I think so. Chris usually does it for me because I'm bad at that and I don't understand. Yeah, Zoom with an X. I think that you can, but it's hard. Like even PayPal, like you can't like transfer internationally and stuff. Oh, you're telling. Okay, sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah, Chase was easy. I just called them or went in before I moved there and I said like, if you see my account in DR, that's why. Like, don't call me every time you see like a purchase there. How often do I do these Q&A? I do them not on a schedule because I suck and I have a baby, but I try to do them frequently, like at least once a month. I love going on live. I just think like it's the only chance really I have to like interact with you guys. Otherwise, it's just me like doing videos by myself. If you guys like them, I can do it like once a week or once every 2 weeks. What I really need to do, and I do know this, is have a time, like Fridays at 7 p.m., so I can advertise it more and people can like expect it. And I definitely do not don't think that I think that people will like put on their calendar or be like, sorry, I can't go out. Like Mills is going live at 2 p.m. Like, no. But maybe, it's more helpful for those of you who do have like specific questions to know when I will be on. I'm also bad at like advertising them because I never know like what time I'll like be free because it's hard with the baby and I don't want him to be like crying or being loud in the video because I know that's annoying too. And I also like doing lives for like an hour. But if you guys like tell me what's best for you, because I never really know, I can see when my users are like active generally, like my averages for the times, but I can't really like see specifics. So if you guys have preferences on time, like just definitely let me know. But I love doing lives. I feel like they're beneficial for everyone, hopefully. Do I need a car in Santiago? If yes, how hard is it to first one there? Thank you. No, you don't need a car in Santiago. I had a car in Santiago. Would I do it again? It's nice to have your own car because I have control issues and I don't really trust that many people. But what's so funny? What's so funny? But I like, if I'm gonna go to the beach, I want to drive myself. Unless you're doing like Caribe tours, but you don't need a car within Santiago. It just makes things easier. So they have the lowest option is not lowest, but like cheapest is a public car. So it's literally a car everyone crams in. It's like 25 pesos to go wherever throughout the city. There's guaguas, which are the larger vans, also really cheap. But then it's like they run on a certain like schedule when you have to wait at the stops. There's also Uber is always what I recommend. So if you don't mind spending some money, I do think like you have to like do the calculations based on gas, your own gas versus Uber, but it's really cheap. Most drives for me were like 100 pesos or less, which is under $2. So for me, like Uber is the best option. Sometimes it's annoying because they'll like cancel last minute and you're there waiting, or they want you to use cash sometimes instead of the card or whatever. But it's honestly like super easy. It works. I've never had an issue in an Uber. Like no one tried to kidnap me. So I recommend Uber. If you do want a car, Facebook Marketplace, Corrotos, Mercado Libre, word of mouth is better. There's some used car lots. That being said, cars are very expensive in DR. They are all imported and they don't depreciate they don't depreciate like in the States. So I had a 1998 Honda Passport. It was old and it had clearly like 150,000 miles and they wanted $4,000 for it. I think I spent $3,400 because negotiator. And in the States, it's worth like $700. So, I definitely think that if you need a car, get one. You can get one, like go with a mechanic, have them check it out for you. Probably like have a Dominican go with you to negotiate so you're not getting a gringo price. But I mean, I liked having a car and I sold it for a good price. I think I sold it for $3,200. So they don't really depreciate. Evenings are best. Oh, you're off today. That's nice. 7-ish Eastern. I'm on mountain time, I think. So it's like 3 hours behind Eastern. I found out that La Vega car prices are a little bit cheaper than buying one in Santiago. Definitely. La Vega is really close. It's 30 minutes from Santiago. So that's good. And there's a lot of car dealerships to choose from. Definitely. There's a lot of options, but they are expensive. Chris's parents, they both just recently got a new car and expensive. I would love to move back to DR. Would be best to buy or rent. So back to DR, I'm going to guess that you've lived in DR before. I always recommend, like, if people don't have experience in DR, that they visit first and rent first. So sometimes in like expat groups, we'll be like, I want to move to DR. Where should I buy? But 100% you want to like see different areas and get a feel for things, and buying is like another headache. So sounds like you've been there before, which is cool. I would rent, honestly. I feel like buying can be a headache. Depends like if there's a good price for something, if you know the laws and the ins and outs and you have someone to do like the contracts and stuff with you or for you, a lawyer, that's better. If you definitely know like where you want to stay, then buying could be something to look into. But renting is also a really good option, and probably what I would do if we weren't going to buy land. Like let's say we moved back into a different city, we would just rent something. You can get apartments and stuff buying for a good price, and there's a lot of new like complexes going up throughout the country, like new housing projects and villas and all that stuff. So you can get like a nice house for a good price. There are just like people do run into issues when they are buying houses there sometimes. So I would rent, you know, it's not that much more expensive in the long run. But I know people that buy too. So it's kind of a personal choice. I just think it's easier. Probably easier to buy an apartment than a house. Hi. Yes, they see you. They hear you. Thank you, Miguel. I appreciate that. Truly. Bless you too. I'll send you guys my link. Wow, that was a good catch. I'll send you my link if you want it. Yeah, I don't know. There's like there's pros and cons to buying. There's pros and cons to having a car, not having a car. Oh, I didn't say this with driving. 100% don't get a car if you haven't driven there and don't have experience driving there, because it's very dangerous to drive in the Dominican Republic. It's one of the highest countries to of accidents and deaths of, you know, for people, unfortunately. I think that it's people sometimes get too confident and they think that it's going to be just like driving in the States, but it's really not, and it's really dangerous. And you really have to be like a defensive driver, not aggressive. It's hard. It's hard to drive there, and it's scary sometimes, for sure. Lots of people text, lots of people drink and drive. Yeah. When people haven't driven there before, I'm always like a little bit nervous. I like taught myself driving there like slowly but surely, and then got more and more okay with like driving out of town and on the highways, and like not being afraid to like use my horn. But you have to be like 100% on. You can't text. Obviously, don't drink. You have to wear your seatbelt. It's very easy to go there, and I used to do this and be like, I'm in the backseat. You're like, I'm in the DR and the rules aren't as strict and I'm not going to wear my seatbelt. Like I've driven like in the back of a pickup truck, just like chilling on the highway. That's dumb. And now I don't do that stuff. Like I'm more careful with motos and stuff too. The link that I just posted, if you guys are interested, if you want to do $1, that's totally fine. That's like a site that you can do that. I think on this, like Chris gave me money because he's my only supporter. He can do it through here. It's called Super Chat. Oh yeah, there's a dollar sign. See, I don't even know. Show your support. There it is, if you're interested. But yeah, I always appreciate anything because the ad money is pennies, but it's fine. I believe that Santiago is one of the safest locations on the island when dealing with hurricanes because the mountains. Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, like DR in general, I feel like always really, really lucks out compared to like Haiti, for example, when it comes to hurricanes and storms and whatnot. They always like don't have severe damage. However, my friend lives in Sosua, and there was just a bad storm that passed through, and there were houses that were ruined from trees falling on them, like, you know, smaller, simpler houses, and people lost everything. And then there are areas that literally, they literally flood. Every time that there's a hurricane, it floods and people lose everything, which is really sad. That's more so like on the North Coast. But Santiago we never really have anything. There has been earthquakes. There were a few earthquakes when I lived there. I was laying on the couch one day and his mom was on the other couch, and all of a sudden the couch starts like shaking back and forth. And I thought Chris was behind me, like trying to scare me. So I like ignored it. And then she was like, wait, is that an earthquake? Yes. So I have to run outside. But no, super, super safe, honestly. It does rain like fairly frequently, but it rains and it stops. DR for Dominicans. I don't know if you're saying DR is only for Dominicans, but any experience living down towards the Kite Beach, Cabarete, any recommendations of condos? Oh my gosh, Kite Beach is so nice. I just did a video from Kite Beach, and it's very, sorry, we're like picky with him. Let me put him down. Let me see. Yeah, Kite Beach is really popular with tourists, it's really like fun. I think there's a lot of good restaurants. It's really cool to see like everyone kiteboarding, kite surfing, windsurfing, surfing, like whatever they do. It's fun to watch. I'd love to try it. I would have to look at the condo names. I'm like, can't remember any names of anything right now. But there are different options for condos. And then you can also live like just off of Kite Beach and walk there, or, you know, get there really easily and quickly. And it's a great option. And I love cabarete. I was just surprised how many like tourists were there. And I know like I myself am one, but I like to pretend. So I was like, what's going on? But it's beautiful. It's so fun. They will kind of like harass you sometimes for everyone wanted to braid my hair. Anyone's hair, but everyone was like, wow, you have like a lot of messy hair. Like, let me please help you. And I'm like, no, I'm too nice to like, I can't say no to people. So I'm literally always like I bought a giraffe or an elephant, a wooden thing. I always try to like support the vendors. I really just don't like saying no to people. So I'm like their prime target. But I love it. It's nice. That's one of my favorite beach towns. Sorry, telling Chris to come get the baby. Usually the mountains break up most hurricanes that hit the Cibao region, for sure. Do you recommend a car? Oh, shit. Hold on. Woo, sorry, nothing happened. He's just mad at me. He wants to play. Do you recommend a car or Pasola? I'm honestly terrified of driving to the capital, but Samana, no problem. Don't get a Pasola in Santo Domingo, please. It's hard. Like, I used to be like so much more chill. It's probably because I'm getting older and more boring and more scared of everything, but also like with the baby and stuff, like I just don't want to like die. So Pasola, I feel like it's dangerous, you know, like it's just like you're never going to be as safe on a Pasola than you are in a car. That being said, you're literally like on a small road in Samana, and if you're comfortable with it and wearing a helmet, please, such a mom, then I feel like more okay with it. It's just like other people I worry about, because people will like speed by on their motorcycle and not be looking around corners and stuff. In jarabacoa, like some of my friends had Pasolas. I didn't. I just would take motoconchos everywhere, like a motorcycle taxi, and it's super cheap. And I'm like, they're going to drive better than I am anyway, and I'll just sit on the back. Ew, driving in the capital is terrible. I hate it as well. Puerto Plata is on the ocean. Yeah. Can you give some examples on how the address works down there? Oh man, it's hard. Lots of people do not have addresses. It's just crazy. Like literally, I was filing my taxes because I was making, like, because of my remote work, I was like based in the US. I basically I had to file my taxes, long story short. And I was asking for the address of my house in Jarabacoa, and they literally told me, La Casa de Lado a Bomba, like the house next to the gas station. And I was like, yep, I'll send that to the US government. So it's like hit or miss. Chris did have an address in Santiago, but it's different, and sometimes it's really hard to like put it. When we were doing the K1 visa, like addresses are they're harder to put. DR equals USA. Yes, Puerto Plata is considered a city, not a state. So they have provinces. So Santiago is a province, and Santiago de los Caballeros is the city inside Santiago, if that makes sense. So provinces, kind of like counties, like, yeah, Maricopa County. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. Honestly, it is. Is Cabarete considered a town? To me, yes. But other people would probably call Cabarete a city. To me, Puerto Plata is a city. Sosua and Cabarete are towns. But I could be wrong. That's just how I interpret it. Every time I visit, I always rent a vehicle, and the most annoying thing I found is all the motorcycles. Yeah, it's scary because like you really have to like be looking around on the side mirrors and stuff, because motorcycles, especially when there's like a red light and stuff, they will come on the side of you and like zoom by, and they're not really like looking if you're gonna look, or they're not really like you're gonna turn right. There could be a moto that's right here. So I always kind of get nervous, and I have heard things where like there's people that are driving and a moto purposely will run into them, and then they have to pay thousands of dollars. And then it's like, well, you did that on purpose, but you can't really prove it. This is a long time video ago. Chris and I, on our first date, got in a car accident. His friend was driving. He hit a moto, and he had to pay for her one of their hospital bills and stuff. So it's like that person has to pay. There's also like some scams, never happened to me, but when you're driving, sometimes you'll like hear a clunk and you'll stop because you're like, oh, my car broke. And it's like a moto coming up behind you to like, they throw something on your pipes to make you stop, to be like, oh, I know what happened. It's like this part. I'll go get it. I have it. Here's some, like, pay me this. And there's some scams like that. But that's never happened to me, luckily. It's just, yeah, driving there is definitely very different. Hello, Mr. A. How are you? I hope you're good. Did you move to DR or just vacation? So I lived in DR in jarabacoa for a year, where I taught at a school. I taught 4th grade for that year, and I also worked remotely part-time. And then I moved to Santiago, where Chris, my husband, lived, where he's from. And then I worked remotely full-time, and I also tutored for a family, or like kind of like a school situation on the side. And then we did the K1 visa, like 90-day fiance, moved back to the States. Honestly, we moved back to Chris is an engineer, and he can make like $600 US a month in DR, whereas he makes way more than that. Also, like, my parents are older than his parents, and like my dad is not in the best health, so being here was good, like, for now, just for my family. We got married here, we had our baby here, but definitely, like, as we get more flexible, save up more, like, we'll be coming back and forth between DR and here, and then eventually like buying land there, building a house, whatever. But yeah, I would love to like split our time half and half. Chris's job isn't remote, so it's a little bit harder, but yeah, you have to drive very defensive in DR. Yeah, it's hard because like his friends will like drive us sometimes, or my friends, and I'm like, I want to drive because like I'm in the back and like they're driving fast, they're listening to music. Some of them like will be on their phones or changing the songs or smoking, and I'm like, makes me nervous. But then I'm driving fast, so you do have to really pay attention though, because you can be assured that a lot of the people driving other cars are not paying attention, and they have like more people than they should in there, and they're drinking. I remember someone drove us, a couple we met at a hostel when I was on a vacation before I moved there. My 2 best friends, they drove us, so nice, literally from Jarabacoa to Cabarete to our door of the hotel, and they lived in Puerto Plata, so it's like a 45-minute drive out of their way, and they just did it to be nice, which was awesome. But they were passing back and forth a bottle of something the whole time, and I was like, oh no, I'm scared. Love your content. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I sent money through PayPal. Thanks again. Thank you, Miguel. That's so nice of you. I really appreciate that. Every dollar counts. I'm trying to make, I guess you guys probably don't care about this. This is kind of behind the scenes. I am putting together a media kit right now, and I have different, like my stats and stuff, and like about me. And I'm going to try to do like more collaborations with people, because a lot of companies will reach out to me for collaborations, but it's just stuff that like I don't want to use or promote or like tell you guys that's my favorite unless I actually use it. And also everyone wants to just do like, here's a free thing in exchange for like a full video. And I'm like, I think like at this rate, like you should be getting paid for your time. I'm very bad. I will do anything like for free and stuff. I just feel so bad saying like no to people, and I want to help people, especially if it's a small business. but I see some of the things that other people are making, and it does take time to like, thank you, Randall, and thank you, Ivy. That's so nice. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. So I need to be like better on the business side of it, you know, like more strict, I guess, with like who I work with, but also like finding opportunities myself, because it's like they're out there, but whew, it's hard. I will say, can I say this? Maybe. Well, I was basically just like talking to another creator. He has like 2 million subs and was saying like how much money they got offered for one video. I was like, that's crazy. And I won't like chase money. I'm not like driven by money, but it's like, it's actually crazy how much certain businesses will spend on people rather than like ads now. Chris does really like Arizona, surprisingly. So he's happy like that we didn't move to New York. We actually decided to move here to be near my family, and he's glad at that because we both like it more, like the food more, like the weather more. I don't want to deal with snow ever again. Being in Manhattan in winter is terrible. I fell all the time. In summer is terrible. It's so humid. Yeah, I do like it here. I wish there was an ocean. We both like, that's the one thing. Like we both wish that there was a body of water closer, like ocean preferably. We'll probably drive to Mexico sometime soon, but Arizona is growing like crazy. Yeah, Randall, you're right. Oh, and Tucson. I've actually only been to Tucson once when I was little. I went to like Karchner Caverns and horseback ride. It's super fun. I do want to go back. There's a Dominican food truck there. I really want to go too. But Arizona, like 500 people move here a day. It's insane. It's like the fastest growing city, Phoenix. So the housing market's insane. Like everything's so expensive here. Every house is going over like at least $50,000 over asking. So I don't want to buy anything here. Also, I can't like make a commitment like that, but I do like it. It's extremely hot though. It was like 120 last week. So yeah. I will definitely do more remote job content. I know that that's always like one of my most asked questions, but I never really know like what content to make. It always like surprises me that there's whole channels of like how to work remotely, because I'm always like, I don't know what to talk about. To me, it's just like, it is what it is, but I will do that more because I get so many questions. And I feel like some of them are like well watched, like they have good views, and other ones are like not good views. And I'm like, maybe it's not interesting, but I know a lot of people do want to work remotely. So I will do more on that. And like, I guess like I've done a whole video on how I find my clients, but maybe I'll do an updated one. That was a while ago. So like how I find my clients, like maybe, I don't know. See, I don't even know what to talk about with remote work, but I'll think of things. I will think of things. I know it's like an ideal situation. I can talk about like payment too, because it's hard when you're dealing with your own clients and you're like, hey, how can I make sure that they're going to pay me and pay me on time? I know you mentioned meeting Chris on an app before you arrived to DR. Do you remember the name? I'd love to begin to make more connections before I make my move there as well, if not any other apps. So yes, I did the whole story of how we met. I think it's in Spanish though, so maybe people didn't watch it. Not saying you, because it was like a while ago. So we met on, it's like a confusing story because it wasn't me setting it up, but whatever. I won't get into details. If you want to hear the whole story, go watch that video. But it's like the real story of how we met, something like that. But we met on Tinder, literally, which is hilarious because it's the least app that you would be like, this is for a long-term relationship. And it's not, like, people don't use it in DR. It's funny. So like my friend, like whatever, she like set it up while we were there on vacation, blah, blah, blah. And then when I was moving there, I was like, let's just see who matched on me. And he was one of them. So we like talked as friends first on WhatsApp, and we chatted, and then we video chatted. And then I was like, oh, he's nice. And thank you, Allie. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. That was nice. I was like, we're going to be friends. Like, I need friends there. Like you really do need friends when you move to DR. It's like very social. It's very much like you need people to do stuff with. I feel like you can totally do things alone, but it's like such a group friend atmosphere that's like, it's better if you know people to do stuff with. So I wanted to meet friends. I totally thought we were going to be friends. And then we like chatted since June as friends. And I moved there in August. And the first week he was like, do you want to like come to Santiago? Like innocently, like we can chill, whatever. I'll take you to the monument. And again, I was like, yeah, like I need friends. And then I met him literally, and I tell this in the video, so I won't go into too detail, but like I literally was upset. Like I basically fell in love with him the first day. So cool. And the rest is history. I did not want a boyfriend when I moved to the DR at all, because first of all, Dominicans have a reputation for dating. Some of it is true, some of it's not, some of it's stereotypes, some of it's not. So I was very like weary and like annoying with him, but it worked out. So now we're married, we have a baby, and he's awesome, like great. So that was like a long answer for your question. I wouldn't use that one, honestly. I know a lot of people, some people who met their husbands on here, but people who make friends on like Hello Talk or iTalki, which are like ITACKY, I think, or IE. They're like language apps. And with those, you can match specifically with people from DR specifically, you can select. So not just like Spanish, but DR. And then you can match with women, you can match with men, like whoever you choose to like talk to. I made a couple friends through there. And you just like practice English, practice Spanish, which is cool because Dominican Spanish is different and it's so fast. So I really wanted to like get efficient or proficient before I moved there in Spanish. So I used that app. Yeah, it's hard though. Like dating app wise, I don't really know what people use. And also like you have to be like careful with like the guys that you're talking to. Like, you know, you don't want to get like used or anything. So definitely if you want, you can message me on Instagram and we'll talk about it more. But, or depending on the area, I might have friends there and I can introduce you. But yeah, there's options for sure. And Dominicans are really nice. Once you're friends, it's cool. And it's also so chill, like, which I like. It's like, okay, you know, here it's like, oh, can I bring her? Like, is that weird if I bring my friend or a friend of a friend or my new girlfriend? It's not like that there. Like literally it's like, okay, I'm bringing her, or like, oh, my guy friend's coming with us and it's going to be a whole group thing. Like no one is that strict. There it's more like, yeah, I'll bring everyone. It's chill. It doesn't really matter, at least in my experience. So, yeah, it's fun. It's easy to meet people. Once you have like a few connections, they'll like bring you to stuff and you'll meet more. But yeah, let me know where you're going. I may have friends there. People from California, yeah, for sure. You guys are only like 6 or 7 hours from major cities in Cali, and you guys are not far from Vegas. Yeah, true. I don't really like Vegas. I've only been once, but I definitely need to go back. 4-hour drive, not bad. 45-minute flight, easy. Definitely want to go to Mexico. Rocky Point's like 3 hours. I would prefer not to go to such a touristy place, but beggars can't be choosers. So we'll probably drive there at some point. And then we've driven to LA, San Diego. So it's not bad. You're not like in the middle of nowhere, which is nice. And there's lakes, I guess. Hi, Casey. Hope you're doing well. Any place in Puerto Plata to meet new friends, or where did you go to meet friends? Yeah, so in Jarabacoa, it was good because I had a couple friends from when I would go on vacations. So I knew some people. And then also when I taught at the school, there were like 6 Americans that lived there. So it was like kind of built in. And then I met like Dominican staff. So I would have friends with them. So like that's how I met my friends there. In Santiago, I met all my friends through Chris. So all of his friends became my friends or his friends' girlfriends. I also made a lot of friends, not a lot, but I've met people through YouTube. So there were a couple of people that like messaged me on Instagram and they were like, hey, like I live in Santiago and like, or I'm here. Do you want to hang out? Do you want to meet up? And I would, and we became friends. So it's like really cool. Like I've literally met friends genuinely through YouTube. So that's a blessing for sure. Other than that, I feel like you can always just go up to someone, chat with them. Girls are harder to approach there. I feel like they're a little bit more like standoffish with me. Personally, I don't know why. Like they're just more like reserved kind of at first. Like Chris's girlfriends, like some of them were like super talkative with me right away and really nice. And other ones, like it took a while for them to like actually talk to me and probably not like talk about me behind my back. But like, there are other people that are super genuine. It just depends on the friend group, like which friend group we're with. I did intramural soccer there for a little bit. So like pickup games, and I met girls that way, which was easier. It's kind of like something set up. They don't have as many like meetups. My other friend, she is American and lives there. She made friends like doing salsa classes. They have like a salsa school that they go to every week. That's a good way to make friends. I mean, I guess it's ideal if you're like in an internship or at school or like working. Oh no, what is that? Sorry, I had a pop up. But yeah, it's hard to meet friends, and I'm pretty shy, so I don't really like to like go up to random people and talk to them. I definitely have, but it can be hard to meet friends in a new place. It's really good if you have like a couple Dominican friends, and then slowly but surely you'll meet more and more. Hello Talk, and I love it. Yeah, I don't have it anymore. I kind of want to get it still to like make sure I'm like practicing Spanish, but I don't want like to like guys think like I'm trying to date. Latin Cupid is very popular there. I've never used that. Do a lot of Dominicans speak English too? Yeah, a lot. More in the tourist areas. So if you're at Punta Cana at a resort, like all the staff pretty much speaks some English. In Santo Domingo, Santiago, a lot of people speak English. All of Chris's friends speak English, which I was always like, great, which is great for me. But I was also like, you all speak English, and I feel like my Spanish sucks. Great. Chris started speaking English like from an institute when he was 6. So yes, it's very like much studied. Almost everyone takes it in school. A lot of people will speak English for sure, especially more in like touristy areas or in the cities. Everyone is so welcoming, so nice, so hospitable. It's like amazing. So nice. Hi, Tanisha. How are you? Very close to major cities in Cali. Yeah, which is nice. Just such a boring drive. Hello from Indonesia. You look beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. I would advise to buy property in Arizona if you can. You'll not regret on the back end when you sell that property. I know, but first of all, I literally can't afford a house here right now because they are going 50,000 over. I would buy something really small that I probably don't even like. And I don't want to put like, I know you can put like 0 down, but like, I don't know. I'm like more like cautious with like big purchases, and I don't know what area I want to be in. We just rented a new house near downtown, which is really cute. I really like it, but we move like every year. So I'm like, I can't commit. I'd rather buy somewhere in DR first, honestly. But I know it's a great investment. Like we had a couple friends who bought right before the pandemic, and then throughout their house like gained 100,000 in equity already. You can use that money to buy more properties in DR. Yeah, businessman. I know we already have money like set aside for land in DR, and I was hoping we could have looked at more options when we were there on our trip, but then everything got so busy that it was really hard to do that. But yeah, we will be doing that, and I would like to do it first. So yeah. Equity is insane. It's like crazy that these people bought it and it's growing so much, but I got this coffee like 8 hours ago and I can't finish it. I've been on here for a while. If you're watching and you're not subbed yet, if you would like to subscribe, I would definitely appreciate that. Just takes a second. It's somewhere on the screen, the red button. Just hit sub if you can. Turn on all notifications, because sometimes it doesn't tell you guys when I'm on, or it doesn't tell you when I have a new video, which is quite rude, but the notifications definitely help. I always try to post on Instagram when I do a new video too, so that's at Rebecca Mills with 3 S's. Hi Cami, yay, finally. I know I was saying I'm really bad at like advance notice, so I literally said like going live in 15 minutes, which is not helpful for people, but I am going to try to do a schedule. I just don't know like how. Let's see, I'll do a poll. That's fun. Create poll. How do I do that? I don't know. See, the only thing about going live is like people watch you be awkward. Nope. I messed up. I put a poll up, but I didn't I didn't put any question. So I don't know how this works. Thank you, Randall. Oh, I appreciate that. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. It took away the option for me to do a poll. See, this is why oh, there we go. Okay, let's see. One vote. Okay. Maybe? Okay, I put a poll. So all 28 of you can vote. Does it say? Does it show up for you guys? See, I don't know. Basically, I asked, do you guys want me to do weekly lives? Or is that too much? I don't really know. I just don't want to waste anyone's time. It's funny because like I've been on Clubhouse and stuff, and I'm in a lot of like YouTube rooms, and they're all like if you're gonna do a live, it has to be advanced notice, it has to be on a schedule, it has to be promoted. Like you have to not talk forever because like people aren't gonna watch, and then it's gonna ruin your watch time. But I don't like to like look at it so much as a business and like trying to use people for views and stuff. So I'm totally fine like coming and chatting and stuff like that. But you know, only if it's beneficial for people. I don't know. I know some people have like 100 people on their lives. Some of the expat channels, and they talk about like more controversial subjects, and then and they have like other people on, so that's cool. Some of the DR YouTubers do that. Yeah, if I do it weekly, it will definitely be shorter. I feel like I haven't done one in a while, so maybe since before we went to DR, so maybe like a month. But I can do more for sure. But yeah, if anyone has any last minute questions, feel free to type them now. I'd be happy to answer them. And then baby's got to eat. So I'll go do that. Probably should do some work today too for my clients. It's just not as fun. I'd rather like chill. Weekly or bi-weekly perhaps. I greatly appreciate your lives. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's Talia, right? I'm saying that right, hopefully. I love doing lives because I just don't get to like when I'm filming and I put something up, it's just like I'm alone. I'm like filming, I'm talking to myself, but I really love like answering questions live more so than like answering in the comments, because I feel like there's no, like I think I'm the same in my videos and in my lives. Like I don't think I act different, but you do get a better sense of someone's personality and you get your questions answered and you get to like talk to other people too, like in the chat and stuff, or see what other people are doing. So I'm always grateful for the people that jump on and like help me answer questions. That's really nice. Best place for a single male to live down there, no kids. It depends what you like. If you scroll up, I typed 5 of my favorite places, and I also have a video up. I think you can search on my channel if you go and type in like 5 best places, 5 best cities for expats in Dominican Republic. I did a video with Chris and we named like Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, good. Puerto Plata, Santo Domingo, Santiago, Cabarete, Samana or Las Terrenas, Punta Cana. That's like my top ones. Hi, Harry. I hope you're doing well. I think that those are the best. Some people prefer like Cabrera, which is a really small town, but there's like an expat community there. Or Las Galeras, same thing. La Romana, but I usually recommend like those cities. Jarabacoa, Santiago, Santo Domingo. Talia. Dang, sorry. Talia, right? Talia? It's pretty. Samana is like definitely the best for me. I love it. It's so peaceful. It's so pretty. It's amazing. Thank you, Anan. Heard you need Spanish in Santiago. Kind of, yeah. Not everyone will speak. Not everyone will speak English in Santiago for sure. What I was saying is all of Chris's friends did. It's like people in the tourist industry, they do, and like restaurants sometimes, not all. Definitely not all. Here, I'm gonna get off. But it's definitely like, it's helpful. I recommend anyone to learn Spanish that's going to DR to live. It's hard to learn. Dominican Spanish is fast. It's hard in a group situation. You're like, cool, I don't even speak Spanish. They're going so fast. But it definitely is better to speak Spanish. If you can. I'll be right back. But it's not like 100% necessary, you know, it's like helpful. You'll meet people who speak English, but you just don't get the same like experience if you don't speak Spanish. It's like you just don't, I don't know. It's just so helpful. So go there, learn Spanish and practice. Even though you sound maybe not great at first, it will pay off in the end. Moving to Santiago for a few months. My boyfriend is there. Oh my gosh, message me. I'll send you some recommendations. That will be so fun. Thanks for making this channel. I love RD so much and want to go back, Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Thank you. I wish I was there right now. Let's be honest. I always just want to be in DR. It was so fun to be back. It was great. Goes so fast on vacation. Now the most beautiful women on the island, in my opinion, are from the Cibao region. I don't know. Like, to me, like, Dominican women are beautiful across the entire island. I feel like males and females there are gorgeous, and you can find literally like models in like the smallest cities, like a moto concho will be driving. You're like, why are you driving a taxi? Like, you're gorgeous. But yeah, Dominican women are gorgeous. Yes, very much. I'm jealous. Thank you. You're welcome. The baby's doing so well. He's like over it right now, so I'm gonna go feed him. But he's doing so well. Usually I like show him a little bit more, but he's just in his diaper, and I don't know if that's weird. I'm from the DR, but live in Ohio. Wow, I haven't been in Ohio. I have been to Casa de Campo. I have a couple videos. I went once with my parents when they visited, so Chris and I went with them. It was so fun. It was so good to go there. Definitely very expensive, but beautiful. Can't wait to go back, but it's expensive. I loved it. It was great. But I hope you like Ohio too. He's pulling my hair. You're funny. Thank you. Awkward. Okay. Yeah. I feel like that's good. Like 2 hours. Sorry. I don't want to take any more of anyone's time. I have so many videos coming, guys. Please stay tuned. Please. The next one will be the interview I just did with the missionary that lives there, who's like doing the clean water program. And it's so important and so helpful for Dominicans in the local community. It's just like an organization that you like can tangibly see the difference. So please watch that and support that video, because I'm going to give anything I make on that video to him, to his cause, and like donate, because he's 100% support. Like, he doesn't get a salary at all. So I definitely want to help him out, because he's awesome, and he's really making a change for Dominicans, which is what, you know, I said this before, but if you're going there and you're taking from the country the, you know, the benefits, I always think like you need to give back too. So that's a great way to do it. So that will be next. And then I have house tours coming. I have more like jarabacoa, like like day in the life videos of like Dominican life. I have more I have a whole like grocery video of like price of groceries coming up. Another apartment tour in Santiago. I have an Airbnb tour in Sosua. I have just a bunch of things. I bought a bunch of Larimar, like the blue Larimer stones, jewelry and stones that I'm going to be selling. I just have to do some photos and stuff with that, but I have a video of like how I purchased it and what goes into it and the mines and all of that. So I have a lot of videos coming. So if any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe. Also, if you have any questions at all that you want answered, thank you, Talia. That is so nice of you. I really appreciate it. You guys have been so generous, and I really, really do genuinely appreciate your support. Following along is always so helpful. Sharing my videos with anyone that you think could like them is great. Notifications on, subscribe. We're gonna get to 11,000 soon. I know it. It's gonna be faster than it was from 9 to 10. I feel it. No, 10,000 to 20,000 is gonna be faster than 0 to 10. I am declaring that and putting that out there in the universe today. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Rick. I really appreciate it. And Randall, yes, I'd like to hook up with Abel Martinez to see if I could help with some families out there in Santiago. That would be great. message me on Instagram, Rebecca Mills, 3 S's. I have it in my bio and under all of my videos. Actually, it's in the description for this one already, I think. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a blessed Monday and you have an awesome week. We're going to get through it together. And any video requests that you have, once this is live, you can definitely make a comment below, message me. I definitely want to make content that you guys are interested in and that's most helpful and beneficial for you. Sometimes it's hard to tell, so I just try to do everything. Stay tuned, because also this week I am doing the live with Jade, and she's going to talk about her experience giving birth in the Dominican Republic. She had her baby at Homes 2 weeks ago versus her experience having a baby in the States. So I think that will be really interesting. I've always been curious about that. Tours for Santiago. Oh, perfect. Another one coming. Not as nice as the other tour I put up, but more realistic and cheaper. So yeah, we will have a ton of content coming. So like, share, subscribe. I am claiming it. I am putting it out there. I'm like, please let me grow faster than I have been. I'm really going to try and put out like higher quality content with my new camera and stuff. And maybe I'll even like try new editing things. That's probably claiming too much because I hate editing, but we'll get there together. All right. Thank you guys so much. Homes is very nice. Any questions you have, requests, either write them on the video when it's live in the comments, or feel free to message me on Instagram or email me. All that stuff's there. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, Anon. I don't know why it's like holding that for review. That's weird. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great Monday, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.